What's going on, guys? I'm Dan. This is Sin Waters, and today we have a collab for you with Mr. All Hail the Beard himself, Mr. Big Beard B. Like to hear what this collab's about? Stay right here. Like I said, this is a collab with Mr. Big Beard Business himself, All Hail the Beard. And this is a list of best leather fragrances for fall. So the way we're gonna do this collab is not like a conventional collab where we just bounce off on the same video. Once I'm done with this video, you go over to his, or vice versa. He's done with his and you come over to mine. That's how we're doing it. A little shameless plug. He didn't ask me to do this. He's not paying me. I like getting paid, but I'm just saying, throw that out there. But he's making this collab with Navitus Parfums, calling the Enamored Collection. Check it out. He has a whole bunch of first impressions. Those impressions impressed me. I already bought 2 and I'm waiting for them. As of the time I bought them, I've been waiting by the mailbox. I mean, I'm not staying there now because I'm doing this recording, but you get the point. So like I said, this is a collaboration with Big Beard Business himself. All Hail the Beard, Mr. The Box. I can't really say it because my kids watch my videos and they would put me in check. But you already know what that saying goes when it comes to the packaging. If you can read lips, you know what I said. Sorry, kids. With that aside, the collab that we're doing is best leather fragrances for fall. So with that aside, my 5 leather fragrances that I feel are best for fall, let's go. First fragrance up is Dior Own Perfume. A rich, waxy, ambery leather fragrance with the right amount of sprays in the right situation. I consider this the Bring 'Em Closer scent. It's so alluring, sexy, dark, slight sweetness in it that it's just that mysterious that I feel that in any type of date situation, especially at nighttime during the wintertime, this will do the trick. When it comes to most Dior Own fragrances, they do have that dominant iris note in it, but with the ambery vibe that comes along with this and the leather note that gives it that strong, smooth, bold scent, it's a very alluring fragrance that I feel is super sexy, especially during the wintertime. It's that freakum fragrance, in my opinion. When that cold weather hits, it's a little brisk, and this one just catches their nose at the right angle. Damn. Yeah, I think this will do it. Leather fragrance that I think most men should have in their collection, especially if you like the note of iris and leather. Can't go wrong, Dior Own Perfume. Next leather fragrance that I feel is perfect for the fall is by an underrated house that I feel that needs a little bit more attention. But this fragrance in general, I felt has just put them on the map a little bit more than the last one. And this one's called Lullaby by Mermetta. With Lullaby from Mermetta, leather, lemon, vanilla, or lemon, leather, vanilla, whichever variation that it goes in, which actually says right here, lemon, leather, vanilla. This is an underrated house with an underrated fragrance, in my opinion. Lullaby, in my opinion, is in the same realm of Allure Homme Edition Blanche from Chanel, but just darker, richer, and with leather. A suede leather. This one, in my opinion, is perfect as a transition fragrance. It has the brightness, somewhat brightness, creaminess of that lemon to remind you of summer, but also the creaminess and leather to bring you into that cooler time. It is a perfect fall fragrance, in my opinion. I wouldn't say so much summer, but for fall, in my opinion, Lullaby would do you right. In a situation that I feel that you would use Chanel Allure Edition Blanche, this I feel would work as a darker, cooler time for those situations. Lullaby from Mermetta, in my opinion, great for the fall. Leather fragrance for the fall. And the next leather fragrance that I'm picking for the fall, even though in the notes I didn't see that it had any leather in it, I get a leather vibe from it. And also, this is not a full bottle. This is the travel size. And this one's from Savoir Faire, and this one's called Soul Cafe. Soul Cafe from Savoir Faire. In my opinion, it's a mindfuck. Why do I say that? Is because at the beginning when you spray this, you get a creamy, citrusy, almost like a creamsicle, orange creamsicle, just like Ultra Zest somewhat, but this one's just a little bit brighter and fresh, and you get somewhat of a creaminess that gives it like a coffee base, but not too much like a drop of coffee and a ton of milk. But it's very, very nice. At the top, you say, man, this is super bright. But boy, wait until that dry down comes down. It becomes a little bit more creamier, a little bit more cafe-esque. But then into the base, the dry down, where I feel there's leather, even though it doesn't say it in the notes, it comes off as a leather fragrance. It could be like a cafe leather vibe. It's super sexy. Unfortunately, the creamy, citrusy vibe at the beginning, that brightness at the beginning, it fades away after probably like 10-15 minutes. But when it transitions to the mid, sexy with that creamy cafe vibe. But then when it transitions to even the base with that leather cafe vibe, it's even sexier. So am I mad? No, not really. I just wish there were 3 separate fragrances, to be honest, because all 3 sections, the top, mid, and base, were just very appealing to me. So Savoir Faire, y'all did something special here. Soul Cafe, I'm gonna need a big bottle. Get your nose on it whenever you get a chance. Soul Cafe from Savoir Faire. Super underrated, needs to be talked about a little bit more, or a lot more. Savoir Faire, get your nose on it. Next fragrance up that I feel is great for the fall that has leather in it is from Xerjoff. And in my opinion, this one is, for me, comparable to Mula Mula from Byron Parfums because it has somewhat of the same vibes. Enough rambling. This one's called Le Capitale by Xerjoff. With a beautiful bottle from Xerjoff. I think the Shooting Star line in most of their bottles has that little top that Kubano calls the taint scratcher. Hilarious in my opinion, but kind of looks like a taint scratcher. It looks perfect for that situation. This one, in my opinion, like I said, is comparable to Mula Mula. Not saying that this is a clone, but it has similar notes. It has that caramel, it has the peach. I think those are the 2 notes that I feel that give it the similar vibe to me, but there's also strawberry in here. Now, the sexier part that I feel that is in this one, which is a very much a gourmand fragrance, is that leather that right at the beginning, in my opinion, is a super rich gourmandish fragrance, but at the base, when it starts drying down after like about an hour or 2, that leather does make it a little bit darker. Nothing crazy, but this is a sexy, darker gourmand in my opinion, especially with that leather aspect in it. There's something about gourmandish type fragrances when you add leather to it that just speaks to me. I don't know. I like gourmandish fragrances, but for some reason when I'm noticing that there's leather added to it, that just gives it that little edge to it that leans it away from that gourmandish vibe. It just gives it an extra sex appeal. And this one, not for every man. Not every man's gonna want to smell sweet like this, but that leather in here, I feel just in the right situation, it's just gonna do it. It's gonna make it happen. It's gonna make it do what it do, baby. The leather in this fragrance is not dominant, but it is a nice supporting note that you can tell that it gives it an extra bold edge to it. At least for me, it does. Le Capitale from Xerjoff, check it out. Out of all the fragrances that I picked, even though I said there's no order, this is the one that I feel is number 1 on my list. This one, it comes from the house of Tom Ford, and honestly, now that I think back, Big Beard B is the one that kind of looked over this fragrance and made me pick this up. He didn't make me, but his take on the fragrance made me pick it up, and I said, you know what, let me try it out. Let me start off with a small bottle, and this one's called Tom Ford Ombre Leather. If you are starting to get into leather and you're very apprehensive because you hear there's animalic leather, harsh leather, rough leather, suede leather, this, that, and the other, I feel Tom Ford Ombre Leather is a great starting point. The sweet smoothness of this fragrance is just so alluring. I think there's cardamom in this. I can't remember if there's a fruit, because Tuscan Leather from Tom Ford as well has, I think, raspberry in it. But that one is more of a bold fragrance that a lot of people either hate it or love it. That one has a bold, I guess it has sharp edges, this, that, and the other. I have it. I enjoy it. It's just a little bit more, as people say, might smell like booger sugar. I wouldn't know. I don't do that. I don't partake in those habits. No judgment here. But it does have a roughness to it. But when it comes to Ombre Leather, there's just a smooth all around smoothness to it, roundness to it. It's just sexy. When I went out to pick this up, I was apprehensive, like I said. When I smelled it, you know what, I didn't even smell it when I went to the store. I just said, you know what, just give me that small bottle. Boom, it is what it is. I'm just gonna make it happen. Add it to the collection. Open up the box, smell it. Oh my God, what did I do? Why did I buy this small little bottle? Because you know what, I should have bought the bigger bottle. That's how sexy this is. In my opinion, This is one of my most used, it's not even my opinion. This is a fact. This is one of my most used fragrances that I use to layer with other fragrances. Alone, this is good by itself, great by itself, but layering with other fragrances is amazing. I'll get to that in a minute. To show you how much I enjoy this fragrance so much, this leather fragrance that I feel is great for the fall, I'm almost out of this one. Like I said, I use it to layer with a lot of other fragrances. I liked it so much that I picked up the body spray of it. Tom Ford Ombre Leather Body Spray. Smells just as good. A little bit lighter. It doesn't last as long as the perfume or the cologne, whatever. But I liked it that much. Did I stop there? No. And bam, I had to get all three. I think I have a problem. Help me. I have a problem. These two I bought from the store, but this one I actually picked up from my buddy Steve from Fragrance Fanatics. He's another YouTube reviewer, fragrance reviewer. Not only is he a fragrance reviewer as well, but he also has his own fragrance shop, and he has discounted fragrances, niche, designer, and many other testers, this, that, and the other. But I picked this one up from him at a great price. I'll leave a link in the description area to his channel. This is not sponsored. I bought this fragrance for a great deal. Go check him out. Link in the description area. Kingdom Fragrances. Steve, what's up, boy? But back to the leather fragrances. I got a problem. Tom Ford Ombre Leather is just that amazing. So like I was saying earlier, I like layering, and Tom Ford Ombre Leather being one of my most used layering fragrances. I layer Tom Ford Ombre Leather on the top, and on the bottom as the base, I use Mancera's Instant Crush. I know a lot of people say Mancera's Instant Crush kind of resembles Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Baccarat Rouge 540. In my opinion, they're similar, but not clones. This one has a more creamy vibe to it. I enjoy this one a little bit better, not as sharp. I don't go anosmic to it as much. So with that said, Mancera's Instant Crush first, and Tom Ford Ombre Leather on the top. 1-to-1, in my opinion, is a great combo. I've gotten great unsolicited compliments. I've heard people talk when I pass by them, but Tom Ford Ombre Leather, for me, is top dog out of my 5. Man, I talked a lot. Don't forget to go check out Big Beard B's channel to check out the other 5 fragrances, the other part of this collab. You either check out his first or check out mine first. Either way, you're just gonna bounce back and get 10 great fragrances, in my opinion, that are great for fall. Leather fragrances. 5 dope leather fragrances from me and 5 dope leather fragrances from Big Beard Business for fall. Dope scents in my opinion, but at the end of the day, still scent the water.